Well, I'm back home, and I had to take care of some things. Sorry it took so long. It's not necessarily exactly what I expected. Maybe good, maybe bad. But, well, I get to the office. So, to continue from where I was, and I had every intention of taking the camera in to record, and I actually started doing this. And I brought the camera up to the front of the office of the building to make sure there weren't any signs that saying no video surveillance allowed, and there were none. So with a bag in hand and backpack in hand, I knock on the door. They buzz me in. I come in and greeted by a gentleman, very cordial, very nice, and asked me to take a seat for a minute. So I'm getting ready to turn my gear in, and hopefully Kimberly Poland's present, and we can have a little conversation about three questions I needed to ask. I get called back to a room, if not very much longer later. I sit down, and the gentleman says, "Okay, let's go ahead and start with your weapons." So we're gonna get some inventory taken care of and start on this checklist. Well, I've got everything that they wanted minus a little key fob deal, and we sit down, we're checking off this list, and everything's good. The guy is really cordial, the guy's really nice, and after I get done with the inventory, I guess there was a piece of paper he wanted to give me. Now, this whole time I have not seen Kimberly Poland at all. Well, finally, a couple seconds later, she storms in. Oh, it was a sight. She stormed in on a mission and walks right past me like a herd of buffalo, runs up to a little cart, pulls a piece of paper off of it, and walks right up to me, looks me dead square in the eyes, slams the piece of paper down, and says, "This is your non-compete clause that we will enforce." Will enforce. And here's the funny part. I put my 2 weeks resignation into Monday before last, right? Well, 1 week before that, we all got a CEO email. An email from the CEO. And in this email, it specifically states that all individuals and officers who decide to make this transition over to the new company taking the contract, the non-compete clause does not apply. Now, this came from Kimberly Poland, his wife. Well, excuse me, that came from Mr. Poland, the CEO, when just today his wife comes in and says we will enforce this non-compete clause. So, love it. Love it, right? I mean, are you kidding me? Seriously. She didn't give me a chance to say anything rebuttal or ask her any questions. She immediately turns right back around and storms off, and the only thing I was able to get out was, "You don't have to be so shitty about it." So I turn back to the gentleman and I say, basically, "This is your company. This is my previous company. That right there is the CEO's wife. That's the professionalism that this company has portrayed for years on end. Unreal. Unreal." "I don't know anything about it," he says. I said, "I know you don't. I mean, I understand. You're just kind of the middleman right now." I said, "But I do have three questions that I need to ask. Number one, I don't have my key fob, the little thing you log into your vehicle with. I need to know how much that is to replace so I know how much to expect a deduction out of my next paycheck. Number two, more importantly, I need to know how to pick up that last paycheck." Yeah, that would be kind of nice to know, since how nobody's volunteering that information. And thankfully, I have just a little bit of brains and I can ask these questions. And he's like, "Okay, well, I'll get right on that and then ask." And I'm like, "Well, after you ask her how I pick my paycheck up, ask him, when can I pick my paycheck up? That would be kind of nice too." So he's like, "Okay." And my third and final question was, is it officially on CIS document that I have been terminated, or did they accept my resignation? Actually, two resignations over 2 weeks. So I stepped outside. The gentleman went to go get the answers. He comes back and he says, "The answer number one to your key fob, it's only $10." I'm like, "Okay, good, whatever. I'll eat it. I'm not spending 6 hours at the house digging for a 1-inch blue plastic piece of whatever." Question number two. You need to come down and pick up your paycheck." I said, "Okay, do I need to pick it up on Friday or do I need to pick it up on Monday when we actually get paid? Because, direct deposit on Monday, 12 evening, kicks back to Friday." I'm like, "You know what? I'll answer that question for you. I'll just play it safe and be in on Monday to pick up that check." And the third and final question was the kicker. Yes, they did officially list me as terminated. Love Critical Intervention Services. Outstanding company to work for. Any good reviews you see on their websites done by the command staff themselves. We all know this. So, what's my next step? We all ask. Real easy. My persistence and resolve is borderline psychotic. It's pretty much not even borderline anymore. I've stated this to I don't know how many people. Too many people are sheep these days. We all know that. Well, I'm no fucking sheep. Let me tell you that. You know, and well, I've already contacted 3 different attorneys. Matter of fact, I just got off the phone not long ago, Morgan & Morgan. It's something they don't quite deal with, but they are very confident that I have a case for 2 reasons. 1, CIS would be wrongful termination, and 2, retaliation. So I'll see you in court, Critical Intervention Services. You count on that. And I believe in justice. I believe in what's right, like so many people don't these days. And I'm going to hammer your nuts to the wall.